are a hardworking person, and you have been known to put everything aside in order to work towards your greater goal, your greater purpose. You've stopped going out as much, you've put aside your hobbies, you've stopped dating, you've stopped treating yourself as much. It all has gone to the wayside. And now you've noticed you have started to burn out, or you're completely burnt out already. Life isn't exciting anymore. You dread your days. Everything just feels kind of bland and dull. You wonder why you feel like this, even though you thought this is what you've wanted all along. I'm here to help you reclaim the balance in your life so that you can start living a sustainable lifestyle and recover from burnout. And I'm going to show you here exactly how to do it. My name is Diana, and as somebody who has completely recovered from burnout while chasing my goals, I have learned many important lessons along the way, and I'm here to share those lessons with you so that you can recover from burnout and start living a healthy, fulfilling life sooner. So you've probably tried a few different things to start feeling like you have a little bit more variety in your life, other than just working all the time. Maybe you treat yourself to coffee a few times a week, or have tried to reconnect with some old friends that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe you are working on having more date nights with your lady, or have taken a short day trip somewhere to kind of just escape things for a few days. But even when doing those things, you notice something. You still feel like all you do is just work. It's like the times that you try to find some sort of balance in your life, it still never really outweighs all of the work that you do. And I know you don't necessarily want work and play to be 50-50 and completely equal, but you have started to realize something lately. You're slowly losing yourself. You spend so much time focusing on what to do next that it has turned you into somebody that is so rigid in their thinking, that doesn't have any room to be flexible, that doesn't crack jokes anymore. Like everything that you have to do every single day is one big punishment, and when things don't line up exactly how you want them to line up, you spiral. Your day is ruined. Everyone around you's day is ruined. And this is not where you want it to end up. You want it to work to become somebody that you're proud of, to accomplish things that you're proud of, not to be miserable and to have a life that revolves solely around working. If we're looking for fulfillment on the end of all of this, that is why we work every single day to get to our bigger goals. Why is it that you have to suffer so much now in order to get that? Why do we have this idea that we need to suffer right now in order to get to that bigger goal? The good news for you is that you're not the only person that feels like this. It's completely normal, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why you feel the way that you do and how to finally start feeling like you have more balance in your life. Think back to when you started this entire journey, back when you felt like you just wanted to do more with your life, like you could become something bigger than you were. You made that decision that brought you to where you are right now. So I want you to be honest with me. When you envisioned your life as yourself working toward this bigger goal, did you imagine this part of it where life became mundane, bland, and boring? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think that it was going to happen to me either. And unfortunately, I can relate to exactly what you're going through right now. As someone that set out on this big goal to accomplish something greater than me, to have a greater purpose, I ended up completely burning out and becoming miserable. I hated getting out of bed every single day. I dreaded my days. I didn't want to work toward anything because I was spread so thin and running on fumes. But after recovering from burnout, I learned this important lesson about finding balance in my life. I used to wake up every single day after getting literally no sleep the night before, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and drag myself out of bed so that I could start working on my things that I needed to do. I would open my laptop, sit in front of it, and get to work. And that was my entire life for years. And I'm not going to lie to you, at first it was fun for me. But when it came down to it, I noticed something. I started to become miserable. And I don't know exactly when that happened. It had accumulated over time. Like I said, it was fun in the beginning. And then it got to a point where I realized I was completely miserable in everything that I was doing every day. My entire existence, I was completely miserable to my core. It got to a point where I felt like I didn't want to feel like I had to do a bunch of different things every day to get closer to my goal. I didn't want to feel trapped by my to-do list. And I hated who I had become, which was somebody that only worked, never took time to themselves, and didn't enjoy any of the fruits of my labor. And contrary to what a lot of people say, I don't believe you have to become a workaholic obsessed with your work to achieve big things in order to get to a bigger goal or a bigger outcome. So I was determined to find a way where I could find some balance in my life to start enjoying it again while working toward my goals. After all, I did want life to be fulfilling. I did want it to be enjoyable. I did want to be excited every single day. That was literally the most important lesson of all of this, was realizing I wanted to actually feel fulfilled in the process. That is, after all, the reason why we literally started this entire journey in the first place. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can find that sustainable balance in your life. Really quickly, if you are finding this helpful so far, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can catch the next videos on recovering from burnout. So first, what is balance? Balance is a mix between rest, recharge, and purpose. By my definition, rest is any time where you take a moment to yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. This is when you're napping or sleeping in, maybe even catching a Netflix show. Periods of time where you're just not moving and you do the least amount of thinking possible. Recharging is any time where you are actively doing something to recover. I like to consider it active rest. And this is what I mean by that. Any time where you're physically going out to do something is considered recharging. Anytime where you go out and move your body is considered recharging. This could be going out to see a movie, going bowling, going to the gym and getting a workout in, going on a walk. This takes physically leaving your house or apartment and going into the world. And the last section of all of this is our purpose. This means anytime we're moving forward toward our bigger goals. Any projects that we might have, any research that we need to do, anything from our to-do list, basically. Spreadsheets, researching, creating. This is any time working on your craft and trying to improve your skill set. This is the purpose and what makes people feel like they're being productive. With that being said, this is the part where most people mess up, where people screw up and completely fall off the wagon. And then they start to wonder why they're so miserable and how they ended up where they're at. So the tricky part is incorporating all of these in order to live a fulfilling and sustainable lifestyle. Finding the right balance is difficult. If all you do is rest, nothing gets done. Life becomes a mess and you sleep all day and start not holding yourself to any type of standards. Basically, you just start wasting away. Every day is Groundhog Day. Nothing new happens. Too much recharging brings other problems, like not sleeping because of late nights out, or overspending because you're constantly out consuming things. This could mean overindulging in vices, since you would be more susceptible to meeting them, potentially with going out and drinking, meeting up with girls or boys or both, having too much leniency with your lifestyle, and potentially slipping into something even darker, because without accountability, our desires can grow and grow, since we just don't stop feeding them. And too much working on your purpose means falling into this non-stop hustle that leads us to even more struggles, including overworking and being tired, losing sight of yourself, missing the essence of life and what makes you human, and running yourself into the ground with sleepless nights and constantly running on fumes. Well, the truth is that if you are burned out, you are most definitely neglecting your rest and your recharge. So how do you start doing those things in your life on a weekly basis to improve your quality of life and incorporate some balance? So first, with rest, these are the things that you can start doing every single week to start feeling like you are resting more. Sleeping in, turning off your alarms, napping if you're tired, turning everything off, putting your phone aside, turning your TV off, and taking a moment to yourself to meditate, avoiding scrolling. And I recommend doing that 5 to 6 days a week. The important part here is resting. The idea behind getting as much rest as possible is that when you do show up for your work, you're fresh, you can focus more, you're clear, your creativity is pumping, and you're not wasting your time by running on fumes trying to get 100 different things done when you can't even think straight. For recharging, this is what I recommend doing. Going on a walk, exercising, going to lift weights at the gym, riding a bike, going bowling, going to see a movie. I mean, use your imagination. But I recommend doing things like this 2 to 3 times a week. And I know you're probably thinking, Diana, I already have no time in my life. What makes you think that I have time to go do these things? But here's the truth around finding times to do these things. You are still under the impression that you have to work all of the time. That belief is instilled inside of you, that you would be wasting time and energy if you did anything other than work. But this is actually what happens when you start resting and recharging. You step away from work, you enjoy yourself for 20, 30 minutes, you come back fresh, and you're able to focus because you're actually clear-minded and you've just done a mini reset. Creativity is flowing again, you're feeling good, your blood is flowing, and you're able to tap into your work again. So if you are somebody that has lost that balance in their life, everything feels mundane, you notice all you're doing is working, and you have become completely miserable and burnt out, remember this. It only takes 20 to 30 minutes to reset and recharge. The ROI on making sure you get rest and recharging is tenfold when you get back to your work and you're actually able to feel like you're getting things done, your brain is working, and you're not miserable because you're running on fumes. Try it out and let me know what you think. If this video helped, leave a comment below and let me know one thing that you're going to start implementing every week to either rest or recharge and start integrating some balance back into your lifestyle. So now that you know the truth around finding balance in your life so that things are fulfilling, so that you actually enjoy what you're doing and that you're not miserable and burnt out anymore, the real question is, are you actually going to start doing those things in order to start making your life better? See you all in the next one.